When embarking on that matrimonial path, the symbols we choose to represent our bond, such as our wedding rings, carry substantial weight, both in sentiment and, let's be honest, often in price. But do your wedding rings need to flash with the price of a down payment on a house to signify your undying love? It's probably the most unromantic part of your upcoming nuptials, but let's dig into the finances of marriage. More specifically, your wedding rings, how much they might cost, how much they should cost, and how you can put a little of that money back for cocktails during your honeymoon. First, let's go back. Historically, wedding bands have ranged from the modest to the monarch-worthy. In ancient times, a simple iron hoop or braided grass ring could seal an eternal union. Fast forward through the ages, and you'll find the value of a wedding ring was never just in its weight in gold, but in the weight of the promise it signified. In the Middle Ages, the posy ring, inscribed with romantic verses, was exchanged as a token of love. These rings were typically made of silver, a metal accessible to those even of modest means, yet rich with intention and sentiment. The Renaissance favored designs that were both symbolic and intricate, typically using more precious metals and gemstones as the art of jewelry making advanced, and reflecting the increased wealth and social status of the wearer. As we sailed into the age of exploration, the discovery of new lands and the wealth they brought led to an explosion of creativity in jewelry design. The Victorian era, with its romantic sensibilities, embraced ornate bands studded with diamonds and other precious gems, often custom-made to represent the unique bond between couples. It was during this era that wedding bands became more personalized and were often designed to match the engagement ring, creating a harmonious set that was as much a fashion statement as a declaration of love. And yes, they could be quite expensive. Yet, even as designs grew more elaborate, the essence of the wedding band as a symbol of eternal love remained unchanged. Each era brought with it a different expression of this idea, from the simple to the sublime, echoing the social and economic climates of the times. Back in the present, the sentiment remains the same, even as the expression of that sentiment continues to evolve, and wedding rings can be as varied as the couples who exchange them. The modern era offers an unprecedented array of choices, from vintage-inspired designs that nod to the past to sleek contemporary designs with a minimalist aesthetic. Now, how about those price tags? Those can vary a lot too. The cost of wedding rings can swing wildly, depending on materials, design, and brand prestige. Gold and platinum, those precious, lustrous darlings of tradition, often command the highest prices, while diamonds, with their seductive sparkle and historical connection to engagement rings and anniversaries, can tempt even the most budget-conscious into a financial leap of faith. But here's the heart of the matter. The worth of a wedding ring doesn't come from its price, but from what it represents. As long as your ring reminds you of your love and of your commitment to your life together, it could come from a vending machine. Of course, it probably won't last very long. Still, you don't have to drop to pocket change to find good value in a wedding ring. Today, there are a lot of good options out there for budget-conscious buyers who still demand style and refinement. Tungsten carbide rings are a great example of high-quality, affordable rings that change up the game in wedding ring design. These durable rings come in a wide array of styles that can dazzle without the dizzying costs. If there is one ring type that embodies affordable chic, proving that frugality need not forego fashion, tungsten carbide may be it. But while tungsten carbide rings may offer a friendly handshake to your finances, they are not the only new age wedding rings that can help you keep costs low. Ceramic rings, known for their lightweight and scratch-resistant properties, offer a modern twist and can be a great alternative for those who appreciate a more contemporary look. Titanium is another ring option that strikes the balance between durability and cost-effectiveness. It's strong, hypoallergenic, and feels light as a feather on your finger. And don't discount silver, always a classic and a timeless and affordable option. While it may require a bit more upkeep to maintain its shine, the soft glow of a well-loved silver ring is quite on par with white gold without the elevated price tag. So, when it comes to how much you should expect to spend on your wedding bands, the answer is really quite a broad spectrum. From minimalist bands that require little more than a couple of days' wages to pay off, to pricey metals and ornate jewels that demands a king's ransom, you have plenty of options, but your choice is as personal as your taste. As to whether wedding rings have to be expensive, the answer is absolutely not. There is no minimum price tag that proves your love. In your quest for the perfect ring, the key thing to remember is that the material is just the messenger. It's the meaning behind the ring that matters. So, whether you splurge on the most opulent wedding band ever created, a real eye-boggler that puts even royalty to shame, or opt for a more subdued and less expensive token of your love, you're doing it right. The worth of your wedding ring is not calculated by the sum of its parts, nor by the price tag dangling from it at the store. As you step forward from the I-dos and into the grand adventure of marriage, your ring is the quiet yet constant reminder of the commitment you've made, and that gives it incredible value regardless of the cost.
Rigid tungsten carbide rings. Simple, but as heavy as the love between you and your loved ones. For our full selection of rings, visit us at theartisanrings.com.